Some mysteries in history have haunted humanity for centuries. Unanswered questions, lingering like ghosts in our collective memory. And among them, perhaps the most chilling, where did the first spark of the Black Death truly ignite? In the mid-14th century, an invisible killer erupted with terrifying speed. It swept across Europe, leaving millions of corpses, shattered families, and entire cities on the brink of collapse. It was called many names: the Great Mortality, the Great Pestilence, but the most haunting, the Black Death. In just 6 years, from 1347 to 1353, it claimed the lives of 50–60% of Europe's population. For over 600 years, historians, scientists, and archaeologists have chased the same question. Where did it begin? Who or what lit the fuse for this global catastrophe? A clue from a single gravestone. The story doesn't begin in London's plague pits, nor in the chaotic ports of Italy. It begins with a lone slab of stone in the mountains of Central Asia, carved with a single chilling word: pestilence. In the summer of 1886, a team of Russian archaeologists excavated 2 small cemeteries near the village of Kyrgyzstan on the northern shores of Lake Issyk in what is now Kyrgyzstan. This had once been a thriving Nestorian Christian trading settlement along a branch of the Silk Road. Among dozens of graves, many bore dates from 1338, 1339, nearly a decade before Europe's first recorded outbreak of the Black Death. One gravestone, written in ancient Syriac, read, "This is the tomb of the believer Sanmak. He died of pestilence." In medieval times, pestilence was a vague yet deeply ominous term, a catch-all for any devastating disease that could wipe out entire communities. The artifacts and remains were taken to a museum in St. Petersburg, and then forgotten, locked away for more than a century. The hunt for the origin, DNA speaks. Over 100 years later, historian Philip Slavin of the University of Stirling, Scotland, stumbled upon these archival records. He noticed something unusual. In just 2 years, 1338, 1339, 118 people in this small community had died, with many tombstones explicitly mentioning pestilence. A massive outbreak right before the European catastrophe. But suspicion wasn't enough. Science needed proof. Slavin partnered with paleogeneticists at the Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology in Germany, who were building a family tree of the Yersinia pestis bacterium. When they sequenced DNA from the teeth of 7 individuals buried there, the results were stunning. 3 carried the exact bacterium responsible for the Black Death. And not just any strain, the original ancestor. The mother strain that appeared just before splitting into 4 major lineages, one of which would go on to devastate Europe for the next 400 years. The killer's journey, how it spread, but how did a local outbreak in a remote village travel more than 3,500 kilometers to unleash death upon Europe? The answer lies in the Silk Road. Many buried in Kyrgyzstan were interred with goods from across the known world: pearls from the Indian Ocean, coins from Persia, artifacts from the Mediterranean. They were traders, traveling in camel caravans. And somewhere in the cargo, black rats carrying plague-infected fleas had silently hitched a ride. From Kyrgyzstan to trading posts across Central Asia to the Crimean Peninsula, in 1346, at the port city of Kaffa, the Mongol army reportedly catapulted plague-ridden corpses over the city walls, one of the earliest recorded acts of biological warfare. From there, Genoese ships carried black rats and their deadly fleas straight into Europe. In overcrowded, unsanitary cities, no one stood a chance. Today, from a long-forgotten graveyard in Kyrgyzstan, we found ground zero of one of humanity's darkest chapters. A microscopic bacterium, born in the wild heart of Central Asia, altered the fate of an entire civilization. And a mystery that stood for centuries, finally, has an answer. From a small, long-forgotten cemetery in Kyrgyzstan, we've traced the very first spark of one of the deadliest disasters in human history. A microscopic bacterium, born in the wild heart of Central Asia, silently crossed mountains, deserts, and followed the ancient Silk Road, forever altering the fate of an entire civilization. All that remains now are moss-covered gravestones, silent skeletons, and a story that has finally been told, from the place where history first began to tremble. If this story made you see history in a new light, subscribe and turn on notifications, because there are many more mysteries waiting to be uncovered. Share your thoughts below. How many more secrets of history lie dormant, waiting for a single clue to bring them back to life? Together, we'll continue the journey, uncovering the lost pages of humanity's past, here on Lost Origins.